if you can talk, say hi. Let me know how you're doing. So what I wanted to do this week was really kind of take a little bit of a pause with everybody and find out where everybody's at, what they're doing, how consistent they're being, where they're struggling, what questions you've got. I wanted a kind of catch up session because there's no point me giving you more and more and more, strategies. But I really want to get an idea of where everyone's at, what I can help you with. And this isn't any kind of judgment at all. I don't want, if one person's doing everything and you're not, I don't want you kind of hiding and not telling me, because I can really help you if I know where you're at, what you're doing, whether you just need more of a nudge, whether you need more strategy. The more I can get back from you, the more I can help you move forward. I'm going to start with you, Hyacinth. Let me grab my note because I'll forget.
Okay.
By the time I've slept, I won't remember a damn thing. So it's a lot easier if I write it down. Let me get a new page. Okay. So how do you feel that everything's going for you with your social media?
Oh, I think with me, I feel like I failed miserably because what happened was my Instagram, as I think I told you, it was hacked into,
Oh, yes.
and then I really just felt it because I worked so hard to build it up in the first place.
Yeah.
And then it just took me a long time to get back into it. So it's only been recently that I've been able to start again. And then because I really struggle as well because I work full time.
Yeah.
I really struggle to keep that routine, sometimes it's to do with my energy being really low and and then I just struggle. I come in the evening and I just really flop. Sometimes I don't. If I've got if I have an order, then I'll make sure I get it done. But I do struggle to keep that routine, and that's just being totally honest.
And you're not alone.
Yeah.
It's one of the big things that most people go through is, life gets in the way.
Mm.
Let's be honest. When do we ever
Yeah.
have a full day where we could really do absolutely nothing? It's very, very rare for most people, because if you do manage to get one of those days, you're kind of thinking, oh God, I need to do the laundry, I need to get groceries, I need to sort the bills out, I need to do my accounts. There's always like 6 million things that will take that time up, even if it's a day when you've got nothing on. And how many of us have a day when there's nothing on?
There's
So
always
fitting
something.
everything in is actually quite difficult. You have to make that really concerted effort to do it.
I've got a whiteboard
Mhm.
and I brought that into my bedroom today. And I'm thinking, should I put it on the wall and start to plan my time? Is it something that you would recommend? Because your bedroom
Yeah.
really isn't supposed to be for that, is it? To work in. But I think sometimes if you get up and you look at it, oh yes, I need to do that. Maybe you get it
You
done. I
you
don't
show
know.
me an entrepreneur that doesn't have stuff in their bedroom.
Okay.
That's completely normal. Let me tell you. When your bedside cabinets turn into 25-kilo buckets of oil, you just put a cover over them
I
and
was
you've
thinking
got a
that maybe that would
bedstand.
help me to plan, if I start to plan maybe that I've got to do the Instagram and then maybe because like if somebody purchases something, I'm supposed to do a follow-up and all that, making sure they're happy and all this and an invoice, maybe a receipt or so there's lots of different things that I should be doing, which I haven't had a chance to do everything.
Yeah, I completely get it. So let's unpick that a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know whether to go through everybody first and then
You could
unpick
do
everything
that. Yeah, you could do
and
that.
then do everything at once, maybe. All
Mm.
right, Sandra.
Hello.
Hello.
So, where I was, it was going really well up until probably November of last year,
Yeah.
where I was getting into the swing of things. I was doing my month end. At the same time I was doing my month end, I was doing the social media, and I kind of had it all ticking along really nicely. But then I did a really big event which completely wiped out my stock. I probably told you this.
Yeah.
So I was playing catch up every day up until Christmas. So nothing got done. And then, of course, what happened with Jeff, I've been playing Nursey for the last couple of months. So that's kind of got in the way. But I'm kind of back on top of the stock now. I've got the stock levels almost to where I need to be. So I've kind of got a list of things I want to do. Things like I need to organise proper mail shots. So it's like the customer care after they've placed an order. I need all of that in place. It's I've got to tweak the website, that type of thing again. And I'm really wanting to. The one thing which is kind of irking me at the moment, because I know you've already given me the information, is the photograph thing where you can take a photograph, remove the background, and plonk it onto something else, and it's a lovely fireplace or it's a lovely jungle or whatever. Right. And it puts you. And I know you've given me that information, but it's somewhere in the ether.
Yeah, I find that as well. Like we've got the information for most of for everything really, but then it's just finding the time to either go back to listen to it or to start to implement it into what we're doing. And I think it's about working out time management, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And time management is a big thing for everybody. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Portioning what's important and what's not. I do it as well. I have to be really focused. I have to start my day with a list and prioritize what 2 things are the most important today. And they're what I have to start with. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to get sidetracked by emails, by phone calls, all of the other things that happen. And then it's 4 o'clock and I think I haven't even started on the things I've got to do today.
Yeah. It's absolutely right. If I write a list, I can see right in that tick, 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 tick. But I wasn't even in a place where I could write the list.
No,
because there was so much other stuff going on. Yeah.
Another thing that I'll tell everyone. Okay, perfect. Okay, great.
I've been at soap school. I've been with, I think it was 12 years ago I did my first course. But I'm a procrastinator.
That's allowed.
And I also imagine and I plan and I write down things loads, and then there's too much really. So I've started already just doing animal soap, balms, the course that I went on with you.
Yeah.
That's my starter. And I need to get that done on reels. I'm going to drag in one of my daughter-in-laws as well, that she's done them for herself on nails on Instagram. So I need to get some help from her. And it's like everybody else says as well, time management. And I've just recently retired, so I don't work anymore, really, because I'm a pensioner.
So that's a blessing and a curse.
Yes,
and it really, really
later.
is. Because suddenly you've got time, but you fill that time with other things.
Yeah.
And you prioritize things in a different way. It's the same when you've got a young child, and I know some of the people obviously they'll watch on the replay or whatever, but if you've got a young child and you've been used to them being at home all of the time, suddenly they go off to school and you think, yes, I've got all my days to myself. I'm going to get so much done. That never happens. It never happened to me. I get to the end of the day and I think, well, what did I do?
Yeah, I think it's like Sandra said, all of a sudden it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it's time to pick them up again. By the time I'd taken them to school, come back, had a cup of coffee, put the laundry in and done a couple of things, it was time to go and pick them up again. And I'd lost all that time that I thought I would gain. Didn't happen. So let's unpick. Gail, I didn't ask you, are you posting regularly at the moment?
No.
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 Okay.
I've been on the sites that you've given us, and it's a case of, I think Hyacinth said it, that you need to go back and look at things.
Okay.
But what order? It's
I know what we're going to do
overwhelming.
next month.
Yeah.
So for next month,
Uh-huh.
I am actually going to be in an aeroplane when the call is due.
Wow.
So I'm going to request that we hold it on the Wednesday instead of the Thursday, and then I can get the call in before I jet out the country.
Where you going?
Would that be okay with everyone?
Yeah, where you going?
Yeah, fine.
We're going over to America. So what I think we'll do on that call, let's go back to basics, and we'll look at, because I'm sure that there are people who still haven't done this, and it will really help you when it comes to using ChatGPT. We're going to look at how to season your chatbot. So that's whether you're using Claude, whether you're using Gemini, or whether you're using ChatGPT. It doesn't matter. You still need to really give it some information about your brand, about your audience, about your style and tone before you move forward and get it creating content for you. Because if you don't, and you're just pressing the button, it's going to give you really, really generic information out, generic content. And there's nothing generic about you. You're completely unique. Every one of you makes soap or other types of gorgeous products, or you may be a jewelry maker, or we've got some service providers as well. But whatever it is that you're doing, you could put 10 people together or 100 people together that do the same thing, but they'd all do it in a very different way, because you're using your creativities, your style, the things that you love, you put into your brand. So we need that in everything that you're putting out there. So we do that by seasoning the AI. And what we're going to do is go through all of the bits and pieces. And actually, I'm going to give you, I will send you the questions in advance, and you can fill some of them in so that you've already kind of got it when we come on the call. I think everyone here today is on a computer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Not on a phone, which will be great, because you can actually go in while we're on the call and be putting it into ChatGPT, and we'll try and actually do it. And then for people who haven't got the computer and they're on a phone, maybe I can pick some of those people and actually do it with them live. So you'll see us doing some, and then you can be doing it side by side as we go along. So I'll get you answering some of the questions in advance. But when you look at these questions, you'll be thinking, oh my God, I've no idea how to answer this. If you get stuck on anything, just move on to the next thing. Do not sit there thinking, oh God, I can't go on the call because I don't know how to answer it. Anything that you can't answer, I'm going to show you how you can use your chatbot to give you the answers back. So it doesn't matter if you don't know, it knows. So we can give it all of the information we do know, and then we can say, what would be the best answer for my brand for this, and it will tell you, and you can say, well, that's not really me, and you can change it, or you can think, actually, that is bang on, that's exactly what I am, and it might actually spark a little bit of something else where you think, and I'm this as well. So we'll do all of that, and we'll season everything. So once everything is seasoned, you can literally take that same text, we'll condense it down so you've got specific blocks that you can just copy and paste into ChatGPT every single time that you want to create something for your brand. So every time you start a new chat, you copy this whole block with the summarized, condensed information that it really, really needs about your brand. And then you start asking it to create your Instagram and doing all the bits and pieces. It will make such a difference for you.
That kind of makes sense, because the first time I went on to chat, it was absolutely brilliant. I literally rewrote my website overnight.
Yeah.
the last time I went in, I was tweaking some bits and pieces, and it just kept churning out rubbish, just absolute nonsense. Not nonsense, but nothing
like
sparkling, nothing relevant.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let's get you back there. So once you've got that, you can just use it over and over and over again. And I suggest that at least once a year, you completely redo the exercise of doing this, re-seasoning it, go through those questions again. And you might think, well, I've already done it, but your brand changes all of the time. Your focus in your business changes. Who and what you want to do in your business changes. So keeping that up to date every year is really, really helpful. You can also give it additional information. What were your top products? So start feeding that kind of information in. What kind of things are people telling you that they like? What are they asking you for more of? Any information that you get like that when you're doing events or selling to people directly, or even if you're wholesaling, all of that extra information can be fed into it. And then when you're redoing it, it's got more context again. So you can think, actually, if that's going to work for her, this could be another thing that she could introduce, or you could also do it for this market. So it will give you a lot more inspiration and ideas. So that's what we're going to do, because there's no point me moving on to advanced strategies, because you're going to feel overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. Let's go back to basics, get all your foundations back on track, and then we'll move forward again from there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Love it. So there were quite a few different things that came up, and all of them are things I expected. And I'm really glad that you were open and honest with me, because we need to be. I can't help you if I don't know what's going on, you know, and I really, really want you to get the maximum out of this. So if you do have an Instagram and a Facebook account, the first thing you need to be doing is making sure that you set up security on it and set up the two-step authentication system on your account to help stop it being hacked. There are some very unscrupulous people out there, and as soon as there's a nice account ticking along, they're like, oh, I can have that. And all they're trying to actually do is to grab all of those people's information and use it for their own means. So they don't care if it burns, you know, in a few weeks, but you've lost all of that wonderful support from the community that you've built up. If it has happened to you, I know it's heartbreaking, because I know how much you put into it, but don't let it stop you moving forward. Get yourself a new account, secure it, and say, right, I need to get cracking on this and build that audience. If you are not visible on social media these days, your brand is going to be dead in the water. You're never, ever going to grow. It's not I would like to be on social media. It's an absolute necessity if you want to have a business that continues. Because if you don't, within 2 years, you won't be a business. And I don't know how else to say it without, you know, I'm not trying to scare people, but you'll just be completely invisible online. And it's a way that you can really stand out. It doesn't cost anything to be on social media. It costs time, which is a valuable thing, but it has no monetary cost to you. If you go back to, you know, when I used to sell and wholesale, there was no social media. If we wanted to get in front of clients, we used to have to put an ad in a newspaper or a magazine or a trade publication, and a tiny, tiny little box. I mean, you know, like 5 centimeters by not even, maybe 5 by 3 centimeters, tiny little box on a page. That would start at £150. And you'd be able to put one tiny paragraph and a website. And you had to hope that someone bought that magazine, read it and turned to your page, read your little tiny box, and then actually clicked on the website. You might as well just been throwing money out into the wind. But it was all, it was all that we could really do. There weren't a lot of options. Now you can position yourself and be visible in exactly the same way as the mega brands out there. And there are plenty of influencers, makers, creatives who are literally raking it in from the big brands, stealing all of that business and pulling them over. And you're in exactly the right kind of businesses because people like candles and, handmade products far more than they often like buying the store-bought products. They like supporting local businesses and they like using artisan brands. So it's a great way for you to actually move ahead. Have any of you seen a brand online, either on Facebook or Instagram, called Upcircle?
No.
Yeah? Have they been popping in your feed?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they do a nice range of products, but it's quite simple things. It's nothing that any of you couldn't be doing as well. But if you look at the way that they position themselves and the way they market themselves, they make an absolute fortune now. Fortune. They're making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of every single product all of the time to keep up with the orders. The biggest problem for them is keeping up with orders. There's just one brand. I know I mentioned a candle brand a couple of calls ago, and I'm trying to think what she did. Oh, she was a midwife, and she earned more in 1 month with her candles than she did for her annual salary as a midwife. But her messaging on her social media is really, really targeted. That was why I mentioned going and having a looking, at what these people do. Have a look at them, at their posts. Have a look at what they're putting out there, the format that they're doing it, because that really, really helps you see what's working for other companies. You're not copying, you're creating it under your own brand, in your own style. All of the best creatives out there, all of the best marketing, all of the best business ideas are all copied. It's very, very rare for you to have something that's a brand new idea. It's not. You're all creating products that are already known in the market. So all you need to do is look at who is doing really, really well, who's selling, who's getting a lot of popular views, who's getting the engagement, and have a look and see which ones work well and which ones are not performing as well, and just make content in your variation that fits that theme. Tick. Okay, so I will put some stuff up for you about time management and procrastination, because I think that's things that affect everybody. So I'll put a few bits up in the group in the next few days about that. And I will send you the list of questions in advance. So you've got plenty of time to go through and answer as many as you can. But remember, don't get stuck if you can't answer some of them. Just answer the ones you can and then move on. And we can fill in those gaps when we're actually on the call. That's not a problem at all. We've covered that. This applies to everybody, but I know, Sandra, you were doing batch content at one point, weren't you, where you were creating a whole load of your social media posts in one go?
Yeah, because like I say, I'd do my month end, and then there was like I had a strategy.
Yeah.
So I would start with, because I do a lot of events, where I'm get all of the lead up to the events. But then I'd put in things like what was the what was happening that month. Is it Gay Pride? Is it Pancake Day? Whatever. And put all of that in, and then put some nonsense bits in. So I had it all kind of lined up, but it went to shit. What can I say?
Well, it's because you sold too much blooming stuff.
I know.
I mean, it's a good problem to have, isn't it?
Yes, there's certainly worse ones to have.
Exactly. So does anyone else do their content in batches where instead of just doing like one post every day, you're actually sitting down and creating everything for like 2 weeks or the whole month all in one go? It's the way I've always suggested it's done. It just makes it so much faster for you. It doesn't take as much time. You're already thinking in that frame of mind, and you're just literally planning out what special dates are there this month? What do I want to feature this month? What special offers do I want to push this month? Or what do I want to get rid of this month? All of those things you kind of slot in, and then you can think about all of the other things. Right, well, I'm going to be making soap that day, so I'm going to do a quick little video of behind the scenes. So while you're doing it, you've already planned out what videos you're going to do, because you know you're going to make soap on these days. And literally in no time at all, you can have almost the whole month's worth of content sitting there done. And if you go right into Facebook, you can literally schedule everything right in there. So it will just come up at the time and day that you set. So you don't have to worry and think, God, I'm running late this morning, I can't get the post up. You literally can go to bed and go to work and do all of the other things knowing it's going to go out. And all you need to do is follow up with any messages or comments or other bits and pieces, and it's done. So I think it would be a really good idea if we could have a look at how we can create that. So I think what we'll do then is next month we're going to do all of these questions, get everything built out and get it seasoned so that you know how to season it. And then we'll start actually with a proper content plan again. We'll kind of backtrack, go back to basics, but not complete basics, because you've already started doing this now. So we'll have a proper content plan. What kind of content needs to be rolled out on, you know, how many times a day of this kind of post and this kind of post. And then we'll look at how you can create really, really easy filler content. I mean, tons of them, and you just slot them in. So if you think that you get more people, let's say on a Wednesday afternoon, you get more viewers on a Wednesday afternoon than you do on a Tuesday afternoon, you can think, actually, I already post one in the morning on a Wednesday, but I have quite a lot of views on a Wednesday, so I'm going to put a second post up on a Wednesday. So we can build some kind of filler content for you that you can add in. And if you've got nothing to put up one day and life gets in the way or the shit hits the fan, which is going to happen sometimes, it's okay, because you've still got some backup content there that you can put up on those days. It's already done. You've just got to literally post it. So do you think that would be really helpful?
Yeah.
It's a plan. That's what we'll do. Now, Sandra, you mentioned that you need customer care and mail shots in place. Have you still got the emails that we did before for that?
I will have them somewhere. It's all. I think I'm just going to have to learn how to use MailChimp. And up until now, there's not been space in my head. It just hasn't been. And that's my next big learning curve, MailChimp. And there's loads of things I can go and have a look at. I mean, there's loads of stuff online. There's loads of training videos. So I'll get it once I've got the space to actually do it.
Yeah. So when you're using something like MailChimp or MailerLite are the two that are not going to cost too much. And actually, for the first 500 to 1,000 people, it's normally free. So that's good. And if you send out something like a newsletter or a special offer, thing once every fortnight or once every month, then it's going to at least keep, because some people won't see your social media all month, but then you pop into their email and they see it. So if you can do that, you can put some specials up or a coupon or
Yeah.
a list of where you're going to be, because I know you do a lot of events.
Yeah, it's also like I say, the customer care side. So you get the order and then you've got the acknowledgement of the order, and then a couple of days later it's care of your soap or wherever, you know what I mean? I need that put in place as well.
Yeah. So you can't automate that.
Can you not?
Well,
Bollocks.
you can't automate that on something like MailerLite or MailChimp, because it's not going to be hooked up to your order system.
Right. Okay.
So you'll either have to find something that talks so that the two talk to one another, or you'll inside your order system itself.
Yeah, I'm going to have a word with my website guy.
Yeah. But the actual text that you need and the different types of emails that you need, I already did for you, so you should be able to find them. If you can't find them, let me know and I'll dig them out again. But you have every email that you could possibly need when you've sold a product, and you're putting them through that kind of pipeline. Or I think I gave you them as well for wholesale accounts.
Yes, you did.
All of those for when you're doing
on the
wholesale business as well.
Are those on the website? Are those on the Facebook are those emails in there on the Facebook page?
Yeah. So all you need to do is copy and paste them, change some words, or copy that whole thing into ChatGPT and ask it to give you different variations.
Yeah.
Change the tone, whatever you want to do. But you'll see what emails you need for, for your sequences, and you can just take it from there.
Is it under marketing, or what's it under?
I have absolutely no idea at all. It'll be in the files section though.
Okay.
I think it wasn't this year, it was last year that we did them. And I know I put all of them together. If you struggle, let me know, but they're definitely in the files section.
Okay.
I think it was about November last year, or maybe September, October.
September, October. It was the back end of last year. Yeah. Okay, so one of the things that I do, it looks messy, but it really, really works, is I try not to be distracted by small tasks first thing in the morning or whenever I'm sitting down to work. Because once I go into emails or I go into social media or start doing all of the other things, I will get off track and I will end up doing all of the little things, little bits of research, finding a price for this, all the mini things that don't take a lot of time. But the whole day can go just doing the little tasks and not kind of moving forward. So what I do is I have these, they're like little tiny post-it notes. I don't even know where they are. They're about that big, half that size. Little small ones. You can use anything, to be honest, big ones if you prefer. And all of the small tasks that I need to do that are 5 or 10 minutes only, I write on those little mini post-it notes. And they're not urgent. They're just things that I need to look up, need to research, need to think about, get my arse into gear to do. I put on there. And I line them up around my computer screen. I stick them around the edges of my computer screen. And I'm not allowed to touch them until I've done all of the main things that I need to spend my time on that day. But where they're really, really helpful is when you are getting ready to, say, go shopping. You've got to go and get the groceries and everything, and you're waiting for your husband, and you don't want to start a new job because you're going out the door, but you've still got 20, 30 minutes before you're going out, that start doing all the little 5 and 10 minute tasks. And you sit down and you pick a few off and you say, right, I'm going to get that done. Or if you're going, you know, you're waiting for a delivery, you can't go out and make the soap or something like that, and you've got a little bit of time, but not masses, little bits of time before taking kids to school, you know, before going out for the groceries, or while you're waiting for the potatoes to boil, whatever it is, small little blinks of time, do all of the little filler pieces, and then it won't suck all of the main special time that you've got for your key tasks. When I sit down at the computer first thing in the morning, my brain, well, I need 2 cups of coffee before I can even, before I can do anything at all. But once I've had my 2 cups of coffee, I'm going, and I'm going all guns blazing. But my body shuts down. I run out of energy really, really quickly. The levels start to build up, and I really start struggling. So if I wasted all of that good time on little things, when I need to really get into it, I've got nothing left. I've no energy left to do it. So I switch everything round and I really focus on what 2 things are going to move the needle for my business today. That's what I focus on that day. And everything else is a bonus if I can fit it in afterwards. But I won't let myself normally get distracted. She says, I do all the time. But if I follow that simple, literally a list, never put more than 5 things onto the list because it'll overwhelm you and you won't know where to start. Look at those 5 things and say, what 2 things are going to be the most important for me right now that will really help me move forward? Not the ones that you want to do because they're easy or something you like, but what are the 2 things that will really move you forward? So for you, Sandra, that would be getting your ass into gear with emails.
Yeah. That's true.
But it's daunting, and that is completely natural, and that's what most people will do. And why is it? Because it's the unknown. You don't know how to do it. It's scary. You don't know where to start. I'll do that another day. So you put that out of your mind and you move on to something that you can do, that you're in control of more. So every time that you come round to doing it, you'll think, I'll do that another day. And you'll put it off. And I've done this so many times. And I've literally had things that I've put off for 2 years that I wanted to do in my business. 2 years of putting it off. And then when I've actually sat down and made myself do it, something that was huge and that I just didn't want to tackle at all ended up taking me a couple of hours and it was done. And I was like, why did I put that off for so long? It was so easy. But at the time, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. Big scary monster in the room, and I run away from it, just like many of you do with other things. So when you literally blank everything else out and you just say, I am going to work on this until it's done, you will be amazed how quickly you actually motor through it and get it finished. You know, and that's like you at the moment, Hyacinth. What you're doing at the moment with wholesale orders, that's all new.
It is new, yeah.
So it's scary as heck.
Yeah, it is.
But before long, you'll be like, oh, I've got another inquiry for a wholesale order. Press done. You know, you won't think about it at all. But putting all of the pieces together for your wholesale is another whole thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully that little kind of post-it notes thing will help you a little bit. I find it so helpful, honestly. It's the simplest thing, but I find it really helpful. And Hyacinth, you mentioned that you bought a whiteboard.
Yeah, I've got one here.
Well, I've put some command strips up on my door because I don't want it on the wall because it'd be right behind me.
Okay.
and I've got cupboards everywhere else. So I've actually got 2 smaller whiteboards on my door, and I've put command strips up behind them so that they won't damage the paintwork or anything.
Okay.
And then I can either, well, I've got all sorts. So I've got little magnets of ducks so I can get my ducks in a row. So those are magnetic whiteboards. If yours is magnetic, you can get little magnets and then you can put things with the magnets if you want to.
Yeah.
You can use your post-it notes on there,
Yeah.
and you can use your dry white markers.
Okay.
So you can map things out that you need to do, like your social media posts, what kind of posts you're going to do, and you can map out really, really easily on part of your whiteboard and put post-it notes there with the ideas. And the next month,
Okay. Brilliant. Good idea. Yeah.
there you go. I love whiteboard. I will show you how to remove backgrounds on images, but it's not going to be just yet because I think we really need to do the other things first.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know how to remove the backgrounds on Canva. It's the app that puts it into a nice setting.
Well, you can do that in Canva too.
To me, it always comes up with something. It just doesn't seem to work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with it.
Okay, let me see if I can get some information together for you.
Okay. Cheers.
I can't remember what apps I've already talked about. I'll go back through and have a look which ones I've mentioned before.
Okay.
Okay. And there might be some new ones out there now as well. So I'll have a look and see what you can do free trials on and all that kind of stuff. Well,
that's what we like.
Yeah, have a look at that for you. I have Midjourney, which is absolutely amazing, but it's 60 quid a month just for the artwork, which you don't want to be paying.
No, I pay for Canva already, so you know.
So you've got Canva Plus.
I've got Canva Plus and I've got the AI tools, but it doesn't seem to do that thing where you go, this is the outline of a body butter. You know, can you put it in a wooded glade? And it just doesn't. You know.
Now, with ChatGPT, are you on the paid plan or the free plan?
No, free plan.
Free plan. Okay. Okay. So, I'll put some stuff up about time management and procrastination, and I think that's it. I do think that's everything. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, I've got a lot of work to do. So I will put up a notice letting everybody know that next month will be the day before. It'll be on the Wednesday, not the Thursday, because I won't be here. And I will start getting some of this stuff up. I'm not going to say it's all going to be up tomorrow. It won't be because I've got all sorts on, but I will get it up in the next few days and start putting some bits and pieces up for you.
Cheers.
Okay. Any final questions before we break for tonight?
Yeah, just something completely different though. You know the course that we were on? I finished it now. The course, the candle course.
Yeah.
Do we get a certificate? Because I haven't received it. I think I sent you a message, but I haven't received anything yet.
I can get onto that as well.
Okay, and do you do like a pillar? You know, when you do the pillar candles, is it a separate course?
Yes.
Okay, I'll have a look then and see what you've got.
We do it online or in person.
Okay.
So if you go to, I don't know if I can. I don't have a. 1 second. Let me just bring it up. Candle.
And is it a different wax? Sorry, yeah, is it a different wax? Is it the melt and tart wax, soy wax you use for the pillar?
No. Melt waxes are not designed to be burnt with a wick.
Oh.
don't know if I can go in here or not. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go into Candle Academy, and you've got the menu at the top.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you look at online candles or candle making classes. Candle making classes are the in-person ones, and then online candle courses are the ones that you do online. So you've got the normal candle making courses, which is your container candles. You do the Flame to Glory business course. And then this one is the pillar candles.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we've got, so it goes through, you learn lots of different effects as well on that one. And all the modules and what's in it and all of the different things that you learn to make.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that one the special offer?
It is, yeah, it's £50 off at the moment, so it's a good price. And then the only other one that we do online is the home fragrance course, which covers a million different products. Lots and lots of different things in there, not just reed diffusers, room sprays. There's so many different things in there, some really, really nice things. There's aroma stones. We've got quite a few different things using different types of stones and even pumice. We're showing you how to work with clay. There's so many things. There's dozens of different projects in the home fragrance course, even using crystals. That's very popular with Reiki healers and people too. So yeah, so those are the online ones.
If I'd like to do the pillar ones, because I think it'd be nice to have a variation of candles.
Yeah, and then we have it as an in-person course as well. And the dates should be up there.
Okay, thank you.
Brilliant. Okay. Oh, Gillian's in. Gillian, can you speak? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I didn't even know it was on. Thank you, Sandra.
Not to worry at all. We are just literally wrapping things up.
Oh no. Okay.
So what we've been talking about, this has been really kind of just having a chat, finding out where you're at, what's been working for you, and just an honest discussion about where you're at and what you're doing and what you're not doing, what's blocking you, what's kind of stopping you from doing what you should be doing. And what we're going to do is next month, we're going to have a call on the Wednesday, not the Thursday, because I'm on a flight. And we're going back to basics. We're going to, are you on a computer, Gillian?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. If you're not, don't worry. I can do it with you while we're on the call. But we're going back to basics, and we're basically going to be going through a load of questions, which I'll send you in advance. And everybody is going to season their AI. So it knows exactly what your business is, serves, what tone, everything is going to be seasoned.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to take that file and copy it every single time that you start doing something on ChatGPT for your brand.
Wow.
Okay. And then we'll start having a really, really structured plan again. So you know exactly what you're doing each month for your posts. And rather than coming onto the call and you kind of trying to find time to do it afterwards, I think for the next couple of calls, we're going to do it together. So when you actually finish on the call, you've already got content there.
Wow.
Ready to go. I think everyone needs a little bit of a kickstart. As I was mentioning, there's no point me going on to advanced strategies if everyone's feeling overwhelmed and not doing anything. Because you're just going to feel worse. Because then you'll be thinking, I really need to get started. But then you feel like you've let yourself down by not doing it. And you haven't. You just need maybe some extra guidance, some extra help, someone to say, right, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. So that's what we're going to do this month and the month after. Next month, we're going to be seasoning your GPT and making the start on everything. And then the month after, we'll actually start creating content for everything together. Okay. Once you've done that, you'll be able to just repeat that every single month on autopilot. It'll be the same process. You'll just put different dates or topics in there in the blanks, and you'll have another whole month of content. But it's about getting into that groove. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you.
You are welcome. I will try and get this video. I don't think it's going to be up tonight. When I finish, I have to render it, which takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then I have to upload it onto YouTube, which is another 2 hours. And to be honest, I don't fancy staying up till ungodly o'clock doing it tonight. So I will set it for the first one today, and then I will get it up onto YouTube in the morning. Is that okay, Gillian?
Oh, of course it is. God, yeah.
I don't mind normally. I normally try and do it, but I'm knackered. I really am tired. I had calls from 9:30 yesterday morning, and I didn't finish my calls last night until 10 p.m. I had about 9 minutes in between each call, and today I just feel hungover almost. All right, go and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. Is anyone doing events this weekend?
Yeah.
Where are you going to
Yeah.
be, Sandra?
I'm at Salt Home Eco Fair for it's like a Mother's Day Eco Fair at the
Lovely.
local bird sanctuary, like an RSPB bird sanctuary. So
That's lovely. Has anyone thought about pushing out some last minute reminders on Facebook or Instagram? If you use it, put it on both. But you know, Mother's Day is Sunday. There's going to be a ton of people who've forgotten to buy anything. And even if they don't buy, it's a reminder, getting in front of them, remembering that you're there anytime that they need a gift. So I would definitely think about what could you put together. Just a quick post. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. Just think about what have you got that you could put a picture up of and tell them that it'd be ideal for Mother's Day. You've still got tomorrow and Saturday, 2 more days that they can be buying from you. And I know tons of people who will leave it to the absolute last minute and then think, oh, shite, I've got to buy something quick. All right, go and have a wonderful weekend. And I will put a post up reminding you that it's going to be the Wednesday next month.
okay.
Okay, thank
Cheers.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.